Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today I'm doing some thrift DIYs along with some thrifted outdoor DIYs. So let's get into the video. Okay, so this first DIY, we're going to jump into a door sign. So I did this a year or two ago and I wanted to redo this. Recently, I have just decided that I save too much and I need to redo some of it just, to get a little bit different style in the house. So I sanded everything down, and then now I'm using the color moss in the Waverly chalk paint. So I'm going to paint over this entire thing, and it did take 2 good coats, but the good thing about having to do extra layers and extra coats is grab your hair dryer, dry it, and it is quick. I'm also just dry brushing over the top of that moss color with the color Snow White by Waverly. Honestly, it is the exact same color as regular white. I don't see the difference. Maybe it's a little bit brighter. I'm not sure, but it looks like white paint to me. So once that was completely dry, I decided to use some rub-on transfers. This is the cotton and eucalyptus bundle. This is from Dixie Belle, and these are a little pricey. I want to say they're like about $20. I don't know. I think they have gone down a lot. I think they used to be like $25 or $27, and I've seen some for like $19 now. But you can make a ton of different projects with these. I'm just using 2 of these eucalyptus leaves and putting them on each side. And then it comes with a really cool craft stick so you can apply them, and this looked so good, and this only really takes a couple minutes. I do just always peel that top layer off very slowly because you never know if part of your rub-on transfer is not going to adhere to your surface. So just keep that in mind. Do it slow. It does not need to be fast. I'm also using this Chocateur silkscreen transfer. This is Life is Better in the Country. I've used this multiple times, but it is just one of my absolute favorites. And I will link Chocateur in the description box below for you guys if you do want to check them out. I really need to do some more projects with them. I love using Chocateur. I think it is like one of the crafts that I do not just on camera because it is just so fun and relaxing, and it always seems to turn out pretty good. And if it doesn't, I did just end up touching up that white you're going to see in a second. So that's all I did for this. I think this is so cute. I didn't want anything crazy. Every time I add flowers or bows, the wind blows them off or rips them apart. So I think this is so cute. We watch the sun go down. Video is sponsored by Coquette. They did send me their black catcher gear insect trap, and it is summertime in Michigan, and it has been humid and warm, and we actually really needed a insect trap. We have so many moths, we have so many bugs that are always all over the place, whether it's on our front porch or our back patio. We just really needed something like this. So this is a super easy bug trap to use. You plug it in and you press the switch button and the machine will start running. And the machine does run all the time by default, but there is a really cool timer on the side. So when you do press the timer, if it is a blue light, the timing will only be 8 hours, and then the white light will have it plugged in for 12 hours, and then it'll turn right off. There is a sleep mode, a normal working mode, and an on and off switch. It does come with 5 of these sticky pads, and you just peel that top layer off and then just set it right in the bottom. So I was a little iffy on if this was actually going to work. I kind of just set this on my front porch only for 8 hours. So I did have that 8-hour timer on because I did not want it on 24 hours just because I knew our electric bill. I'm not sure honestly how much it would cost, but with the summer fees, I am not going to have something running for 24 hours, but I wanted to see what 8 hours would do. This is what it looks like. And the very next morning, I had to check this out to see if it worked. If you guys do want to check out this Coquette insect trap, I will leave links in the description box below for you guys, but seriously, check this out. You do want to make sure you unplug it. Nothing is turned on when you are taking everything off, but look how disgusting this was. This was 8 hours. It is crazy. It works amazing. All right, so for this next DIY, I redid this in the fall time a few years back, and it has been in my basement ever since. I actually tried to sell this in a recent yard sale. I have a yard sale every year to sell some of my DIYs, and I sell them super inexpensive. So some people are like, what do you price your things? $1. I price them at $1 because I just want them gone. I want someone else to love them. So the first thing I did was sand this down. So I used Arteza paint, which it is amazing, especially for outdoor items, but to paint over the top of it was almost impossible. I'm using a chalk paint. This took 4 coats of paint. I was super dedicated. I honestly almost gave up because it was taking so many coats. I decided to use some chalk paste and a silkscreen Chalkateur stencil. I'm using the colors Bright White, Velvet, and the color Bark. This is one of their newer silkscreen transfers, and I am obsessed with this. Outdoors and s'mores, I thought this would be a really cute s'more caddy, and of course, I didn't make this little s'more caddy look the absolute cutest, but honestly, it's really functional. We're just going to throw some graham crackers and marshmallows in here, and no chocolate. Usually we just honestly roast marshmallows and just eat them. That's really what we do. That's kind of our s'mores, but sometimes it's fun to have like little s'more parties and stuff, but I think this would be cool just to throw marshmallows, graham crackers, chocolate in, bring it outside, bring it back inside, and I think this turned out absolutely adorable.
Over the same old town, like so many times before, we look at the same old stars, battle the same old wars, like so many times before. And I know that we're not perfect, but I'm gonna miss all that we had. Yeah, I know that we're not perfect.
DIY is this duck. It was $1 and filthy from a yard sale, and it has like that old school, I want to say like primitive vibes, but I knew that was something that I did not want. So get the sander out once again. I use this Bosch sander. I'm obsessed with this. It has 6 different settings. It is one of my favorite sanders I've ever used. I had one that broke, and then we just had to rebuy the same one because I just really like it. And I usually use like a 60 grit sandpaper for everything because it takes everything off just a lot quicker. So once the sanding was done, I decided to go in with my white chalk paint and paint this entire duck. So don't get me wrong, I love my white and boring colors, of course. So this is going to be white and black. We're going to distress it a little bit with some antique wax. And then, of course, we're going to paint the beak. We're going to make this look like a little Pekin duck. We have always had ducks. So here's a fun fact, I suppose. We've had ducks for 10 years now, and now we don't have any ducks. And it's really sad, and it's kind of weird looking out the backyard and not seeing any ducks, but we've had a lot of predators come and take our ducks away. So we decided to just give it a break, give it a rest, and hopefully next year it will be better and we will have more ducks and make a new little duck family. But I still love them, so I wanted to paint this like a Pekin duck because they are my absolute favorites. I think they are beautiful and so pretty, and I love all. I think they're just so cute. So I did use an orange, outrageous orange, just in a acrylic paint. It was glossy, so it wasn't like my favorite paint, but we went with that with the legs and the beak, and then I'm just using my chalk paint in the color ink for the bottom, and then just a acrylic marker. I was going to say, I don't know what I was going to say. It's like an oil-based acrylic marker. These are by Arteza, but they're one of my favorite markers ever. I decided to just add a cute little burlap bow and another burlap bow over the top, and I think this turned out so cute. I did, like I said, dry brush it a little bit because the white, it was adorable, don't get me wrong, but sometimes when I look at so much white, I'm like, this is so boring. What can I do to like liven this up? And we had a Pekin duck, and she was never white. She was always a hot mess. So I just thought this kind of reminded me of her, and that she was always a mess. She was never completely white. Even if she got out of the pond, she was still a hot mess. But I think this is cute, and only for $1 at a yard sale, I think it is a steal.
But I need this night for the last time. Stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay if you stay. Stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay if you stay. If you stay.
One, my neighbor gave me some of these old school saws that she had in her garage, and she was like, maybe you can come up with a craft. And I was like, I don't know. And my husband had to butt in for the good. We'll say for the good. He's like, why don't you use your Cricut or Chalk Couture or something and put a really cool decal on it? I'm like, that is such a perfect idea. So these silkscreen transfers are not from Chalk Couture. These are actually from Amazon, but they are pretty much the same. But I can find a lot of really good silkscreen transfers on Amazon, and they can be a little pricey even over there, even if you think you're paying $7 for a sheet. I've noticed some of them don't last that long. You can't use them multiple times. I'm using the bright white in Chalk Couture once again, but I decided to add this tractor and these farm animals. Kind of went with something different. I saw this turkey and I was like, this is so cute. We have to add the little turkey we have to add it. I think it's really cute, and I've never added any kind of turkey decor before. So I just added those 4 pieces, pulled them up. They turned out perfect, and you can always seal these. I use like a clear spray polyacrylic. I think the spray just is so much easier, works so much better. So you do want to spray these down, or this will eventually kind of peel up, or if you bump it into something, they will start to kind of scratch off. But I like to just dry these with a hair dryer. Just make sure they stay nice and put together. And that is it. This turned out so cute.
But all the fun times we had, I'll never forget. We will always share a bond, no matter what. 'Cause you have a piece of my heart, and I know that we're not perfect.
Such an easy DIY. I have had this little drawer in my garage forever. It was 25 cents from a yard sale. The first thing I did was take off that handle. I did like the handle, so I ended up keeping that. I didn't do nothing with it, no spray paint, nothing. I think it looked really cool, but I did need to sand this down and paint it. So I kind of got crazy with the paint. You're going to see in a second. I was just going to do like the front of the door, and I was like, I think this will be good. I'm just going to paint this white. And then the more I was looking at the entire drawer, I was like, okay, this all needs to be painted white. So I painted every little nook and cranny in this drawer that I could. And that was not my intention whatsoever, but it did need a couple coats. I want to say 2 coats, and that was it. I put the handle back on and added some greenery, and you can add whatever you want to this. That's what the cool thing about a drawer is. You could even like add a stand and make this like a little table. I think that would be super cute. For me, I just kind of want it to sit on like a table and then add some florals in it, maybe even a candle. I think it would be so cute. And then to top it off, of course, I had to dry brush, and I dry brushed everything on this drawer. But you guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you guys like thrift DIY videos, let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out Cocat. I will leave their link in the description box below so you guys can get all the bugs off your porch and off your patio. That is it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!